Welcome to Behind the Claw. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys are currently in Grote. They have made uh, some gains in gathering intelligence and whatnot, and they are now kind of spending the last amount of time that they have left now that they have everything that they really want. I know that Zerzy was saying of doing a little bit of shopping before they left,
Yeah, I
but
forgot.
for the most part, what's left is for them to basically report their findings to Magnus Sundstrom and for the scanner to move on. So, so Zerzy, you forgot to look through stuff that you wanted to buy.
We can just skip it. It's fine. I'll shop for robots at the next place.
Okay, yeah, you can shop for robot parts and software at the next location. So yeah, you guys make your way back to the scanner, and um, Magnus, of course, is excited to hear from you guys and kind of learn, what is it that you found out. So here, well, that's weird. Why is it doing that? Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't do it if I grab everybody at once. So you kind of meet with him in in one of the more private luxury in air quotes luxury um, common areas, and he of course is very excited. He wants to know what is it that you found out. Is it is is there any confirmation of his suspicions about ship movement? Is what he wants to know. What do you got,
I
gentlemen?
don't know all the details, but I can let you know at least what I picked up from someone who seemed to be in the employ of paying specific attention to ships coming and going.
Sure.
Also, they won't be letting anyone know about us either. And then I'll go over all the information I was able to, with Casimir's help, get from the thugs that were spying on us.
Okay.
I would just let him know that I will send the files I got to Kurt of Us to let him go through because I got a lot of files.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
you
a
got a lot.
ton of stuff. So each of you can roll 1d plus. Let's see. Each of you. Well, let's see. Zerzy and Audrey. Well, Zerzy, you can roll 1d plus 3. Audrey, you can roll 1d plus 2.
Hey.
And Orion can roll as flat 1d.
Max.
Nothing for Audrey. Nothing for Orion. That's okay for Orion since he is
I'm the newbie.
new. You're new. But so yes, but Zerzy, you give him the he is he's thankful to Orion. He doesn't really say anything more than that. He doesn't seem overly impressed with the information that you brought him. But Zerzy handing him these files or a wafer with these files on it, he is over the moon, man. He is ecstatic about this information, and he plans to be spending much of his time in his office over the next week while in jump. Um, you know, poring over this, seeing if he's finding any correlation uh, between his suspicions and what you've found here. Truth be told, truth be told, it's a mixed bag of yes and no. So, what you guys found really isn't that out of the ordinary for Grote. So, The only thing out of the ordinary, I would say, was that there are some indications that in the out system of Groat, there are indications of a number of ships that have been found kind of coming into the system in the outer belt, like the Orc Cloud. Um, and it's really hard to say if the numbers that you're getting in the files is accurate, because that is so far out that most sensor systems, it would be easy for them to miss ships. I mean, if one of those ships is out there and they disable their transponder, they're effectively invisible to the starport and Groat. I mean, you wouldn't be. They simply are not going to find anything that far out. Anything past 50,000 clicks, in most cases, is going to be. They have to do something spectacular in order for you to see them. A jump, something like that. You would eventually, your sensors would pick up the gravity waves registering that there was a jump in or out. But beyond that, it's they're just going to be invisible. So it's possible that there's a great many more ships out there, and even so, like a lot of the sensor data that comes in from the transponders that were set to active that were out there, they're registering that an estimated tonnage of each of these vessels anywhere from between 200 and 600 tons. There's really no way of verifying that unless they sent a ship out physically that far out. There'd be no way of verifying that. So the numbers that are out there are incomplete. So that's kind of out of the ordinary. There is some indication that there's some traffic that is moving in towards District 268 and the Five Sisters from the Imperium. And there's been a number of warships, nothing much larger than a destroyer so far. Some convoys. Going the other direction, you don't see that there's a lot of ships that are moving into the Imperium from Groat, and they're not hanging around Groat. They're doing the normal traffic, and the normal traffic being that these merchants or traders from Five Sisters and 268 kind of stop at Groat. They do whatever transactions they're going to do, and then they turn around and go back because they don't want to pay the extra licensing fees to go deeper into the Imperium. So there's really not a whole lot to be alarmed about here. So it's kind of a mixed bag of intelligence. I'm sure Magnus, and I'm metagaming here, from the way I read this, Magnus, it's not that Magnus is incorrect. It's that he had a little bit of being on the right track, and now he sees ghosts in every corner, kind of thing. Almost like on the verge of like a conspiracy theory. Well, he's almost right, and then he just wants to jump at every shadow. But that doesn't mean that he's entirely wrong either. So, like I said, it's really, from what you're seeing, it's really hard to tell what's going on here. Is there anything that you guys before departing for Smoug? Is there anything that you guys wanted to do at the last minute on Groat?
I'm just writing out that I'm gonna borrow 2 stoolies from the armory and load them up, and then somehow get holsters and put them on Clinker.
Okay, all right, yeah. I don't know. He doesn't really have much in the way of hips. He's kind of built like Taylor
I'm not
Swift.
gonna like bolt him to him or something.
Maybe you could
he's got an
like,
ass. Look at that.
Do a quick little weld job of a holster to his hip.
I mean, it looks like he'd be probably better off with shoulder rigs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fine. Shoulder rigs work.
He's got to have the holsters like RoboCop, where it
Yeah, where it just
mechanically
comes out of his leg.
Oh yeah, right on his upper thigh.
Yeah, you can get that as an augment, actually.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's an actual thing.
Hey!
Also, hi, sorry I'm late.
No, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, a project long at work. Yeah, but at least I made it.
Yes, there you are. So, yeah, I mean, Casimir, roll 1d plus 2.
Okay. I can. This is something I'm capable of. No, because I keep making typos. Okay, I either rolled really good or really bad.
So, Magnus was impressed with you as well for bringing in information. We were just talking about how it's a mixed bag. There is a little bit of strange stuff going on with ships that seem to be popping into the Orc cloud before jumping on and not actually coming to the port. That's a little weird, but nothing alarming. You don't see like a buildup of ships. You don't see, you don't see this massive military movement from the Imperium moving towards the border. And so there's been a couple of destroyers, but that's about it. So, I mean, Magnus, of course, is overjoyed with this wealth of information that Xerxes took off of the computers, and in that, your esteem with Magnus has increased. All of you can also roll. Let's see, Xerxes, you can roll 1d plus 2, and everybody else roll a flat 1d. A 7. So, I mean, the rest of the crew, they're not that impressed. But, on you go. As a reminder, let's see. Well, this actually has lowered, but not only by half. Let's see. So you guys have done some. Well, not all of you. I think Xerxes and Audrey were a part of some of this, but there has been some stuff that some trading that you guys have done here. Things not wanting to work with me. That's better. There we go. So there was some additional cargo that was purchased for the purposes of trade that nobody's really done anything with. Let me pop it up here for you.
I'll be honest, I don't remember everything we bought. We bought a lot of stuff over the campaign.
Yeah, I've been keeping a list. Blow this up a bit.
Sounds like a bag of holding situation after about 10 levels or so.
Well, I mean, the extras, true. Yeah, no shit. And I've run into that problem so many times. So it's not anywhere near a problem as far as like space. I was just, we're going to be getting towards the end of the cruise, and there's money to be made here. There we So this stuff technically belongs to you guys, and you can sell that wherever you want.
No.
Now those numbers at the beginning, those are tons. Except in the case of the Socrates field car.
Я вообще думал это принять эту операцию на нет, но я не знаю, я еще не принял решение.
So, I mean,
Потому что очень тяжело что-то делать, когда постоянный голод. Вообще, я тебе скажу, конечно, это настоящего голода.
just mute him.
Maybe?
Но я вообще, конечно,
Should be able to as a server admin. Right click, then check mark where it says mute.
Да.
There we go. I will unmute him in just a moment. So these are items that you could attempt to sell here while you're on Groat. If you wanted to wait until you get to Smoug, you could attempt to sell them there. I don't know what the well, let's see. Socrates field car. How much is that worth? I remember you guys bought it new.
Is that the one I bought because I was going to make like an armored car at some point? Or is that our pickup truck that we had?
No, it is. It's one of these. It's kind of like a field, field commander's car.
Yeah, because I was going to eventually try to find a gun for it. I just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a weapon in the turret. But beyond that, I mean, this thing worth about, without the gun, it's probably worth about 140,000 credits. New, and this thing is new. I mean, you purchased it new. I don't even remember where you got it.
I think it was near the Fallout world.
It may have been, yeah. There was a plan to sell it further. You ran across it. It was for sale. It was basically surplus, and the idea was that you were going to sell it further down along the way. So there's that. But I mean, you've got.
Well, I bet they might want the meat because they probably only have lab-grown meat on the desolate moon.
That's true. So fresh meat would probably sell exceptionally well here. Other things that would, it probably would sell well on Smoug as well. Smoug is a really dry desert world, and there are constant winds, and it kicks up constant dust clouds. Dust storms are frequent. Everybody on Smoug has to wear a filter mask because of the constant dust. And the other thing about Smoug is that, and this is especially true for, I unmuted him. It's especially true for newcomers, is that the dust clouds on Smoug are filled with iron, and so it will mess with your sensors. So I don't know. Being in that type of environment, the frozen meat would probably sell well. The hardwood would probably sell well. The advanced clothing might sell. All of this may sell very well on the next destination. But even here, you're right. That frozen meat would probably do well. The Condarian liquor would probably do well. It's entirely up to you. I mean, you guys could keep the liquor in the Socrates field car for yourselves if you want. I mean, porting around a Socrates field car at 5 tons shipping is probably going to get expensive eventually.
Well, I don't think anybody has a drive wheeled vehicle.
Oh, well, I'm working on Grav because I have my grab thingy. But
Yeah, you've got an
Audrey
air
has the
raft.
drive
You had a-
skill.
yeah,
I know Audrey has a motorbike. I don't know if she has drive
Yeah.
wheeled vehicle.
What just drive in general?
She just
Not
drive anything,
the
you know.
specific ones.
Okay.
I mean,
And I've got Flyer 0 and Pilot 1.
if an 8-year-old kid can jump behind the wheel and decide to drive himself to school and get pulled over by the state police, if he can do it, I'm sure that 3 fully grown men and a Vargur are capable of getting into a Socrates field car and at least making it most of the way to their destination.
yeah, exactly.
It's so easy to
Don't
drive
want to
that
do
a kid
anything
can
too
do it.
crazy. It should be fine.
Well, looking at so this book, I am like with a bullet point on my list is to upgrade to the new vehicle handbook update 2026. If mostly because I want the new rules. This particular this vehicle handbook for second edition has always been problematic. There are some definite issues with it, and it becomes very glaring immediately in this book at the very beginning of the book when you go to actually create a vehicle. It leaves out like 90% of the steps. It's got like a flow chart and stuff, and then you try to follow it and you're like, wait a minute, where do I get this information? Where do I get this other piece of information? Nowhere. There's nowhere in the book that it exists. And so you basically just have to make it up as you go, which is what I think they did with some of these vehicles. But like the artwork itself, the Socrates field car always looked to me like somebody had lowered it. We're going to take a military vehicle and then we're going to remove the suspension, man. And so, yeah, it's like a cross between the APC from Aliens and like a 78 Oldsmobile Cutlass that's been lowered.
With a cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Before I
with a
leave,
gimbal mount.
could I go to the weapons dealer who we talked to and see if I can find an autocannon with ammo?
Sure.
Or would that not be probably able to be bought by anybody?
I don't see why not. Go ahead and roll. Roll 2D minus 2. Wow.
Well, that sucks.
A 0?
I rolled 2 1s.
Oh, yeah, you did. All right, so he does not have a vehicular autocannon available.
All right, well, that's all I got.
Did you want to attempt to sell any of this stuff? And if you've got broker, you could make a broker plus intellect check.
Probably help, but it's y'all stuff.
With the same guy that you're...
Well, technically none of you were around for all of this. This was all just like, hey, this is like a long lost inheritance for you guys. Like,
Right, yeah. Just split it up with the group. If you wanted to sell the Socrates, you could. All I'm saying. To the same guy that you're talking to right now.
I think I'll wait until the next planet because the next one I think we'll make more money on.
Okay. All right. So, anybody else?
Oh, do they have a vehicle dealership?
On Grote. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but
Yeah.
you already have a motorbike.
Yeah.
I know, but Audrey wants the hover bike.
I do have stats for a G bike. In fact, I might have newer stats. Double check that. I do have newer stats for a G bike. So yes, you do find a vehicle dealership here, and they have fancy new G bikes. I will
Ooh.
bring that up. I really like the new artwork for the G-Bike. I mean,
I do too.
this one is cool and all because it kind of looks like a brand new sporty racer model, but the new one looks like what it should. It's been beat up a little bit, probably laid down in the dirt somewhere. Tightened up here. There we go. So here is the stats for the newer G-Bike. So these things go for 46,000 credits. If you wanted to trade in your dirt bike, so you just did quite a bit of work on your dirt bike. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what Audrey was doing in her downtime, was fixing it up.
They will give you 3,500 credits trade in for your dirt bike. They also have easy financing. Which would,
Of course they do.
Which would require, of course, an admin check to fill out all the paperwork and to see whether or not you are approved for a loan.
Oh, Audrey is sad. She can't afford it right now.
You don't want to be making monthly payments? I mean, you know. What can we do to get you into this G-Bike today?
Audrey doesn't have credit.
I would think in the future, probably everybody has a credit rating by the time they're, out of the toddler phase. I really truly believe that. I think that by the age of 10 years old, you probably have the beginnings of a credit rating. It's almost that way
Whether
now.
you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not, right? So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to spend that much, go ahead and make a Recon plus intellect check, Audrey.
Make a Recon plus intellect check.
Got this.
Skills. Recon intellect.
Okay.
Nice.
There it is. That's interesting. Oh no. 46,000 credits. Okay, so it is the same. But you notice towards the back of the lot, sitting on on the two tines of a lifted up forklift. There is a beat up old G bike, and it's kind of sitting on these forklift tongs and kind of leaning to one side against the back plate of the forklift, and it's just sitting there, and it's got dents. Most of the paint's been scraped off, some rust damage, and it's just sitting back there.
Okay, Audrey, ask a salesperson about that one.
He says, "Oh, yeah, that thing's all beat up. You don't want that one."
But I do.
He says, "Well, let's see. Well, we could get you into that one for about 10,000."
Okay, well, can Audrey trade in the dirt bike and pay 5,000 and then finance the rest?
Yes, I believe that we can do that. Does Audrey have the admin skill?
No?
Did anybody else go with Audrey to this dealership?
I mean, I technically went to the gun store, so
Yeah, you're busy at the gun store. What about?
Yeah, I would have gone with him.
Okay.
I don't have
thanks.
admin though.
Do you have an admin skill?
I do not.
Okay. So,
I do have broker if that helps.
it might if you wanted to negotiate on this deal. So Audrey's. Let's see here. So Audrey, this guy's saying 10,000 minus Audrey's 3,500 credit trade in, and then Audrey, you wanted to pay another 1,500, or wait, you wanted to pay 5,000 and then finance the last 1,500.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if you wanted to make a broker deal to try to get that 10,000 down, because this thing, nobody's even turned it on. You don't even know if this thing works, right? So if you wanted to make a broker deal, broker plus intellect, or broker plus
not happening.
Wow. If Orion wanted to make a broker plus, let's see, I guess that would be what, social? Let me double check.
well, that the admin person's dealing with firearms and the non-admin people are actually needing admin stuff.
So negotiating a deal. Yeah, if Orion wanted to make a broker plus intellect check, we can go ahead and see. That's an average 8+ check. If you could see about maybe negotiating this down a little bit.
Yeah, see if I can get you the military veteran discount.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Hey, it's an option.
Ooh.
you did. So, essentially, Orion is able to, smooth things over with this guy, and basically Tom's like, look, this thing, we don't even know if this thing runs. It's beat to hell, but the Varger wants it. So, how about we just cut the 1,500 off entirely? He pays. Audrey pays you the 5,000 credits and gives you the dirt bike, and we call it even. And he agrees.
No, thank you, Orion. Audrey wags her tail.
So you now have
Of course,
a
I'm curious to
G-bike.
see what we're going to do with that.
Fix it to make it work.
Yes. Yeah, you can go and make an engineering power plus intellect or education, Audrey.
Okay. Engineering plus which?
Engineering power plus your choice, either intellect or education.
Oh, okay. Engineer.
Ooh, nice.
Your mic's muted.
Thank you. Sorry. So you are able to get this thing started. It is making some rattling sounds. There's vibrations in places that there shouldn't be. There's smoke coming out of one side of it, and the lifters come alive, and you're able to get it up off the forklift by itself, but they're not maintaining. They're like kind of going up and down all over the place, and so this thing does not appear to be in the best of shape. It's not something that you're likely to be driving home. But you could walk it home. You don't have to carry it. So there's that. So you are now the proud owner of a broken down G-bike that you can
Yay!
spend some new time working on in the cargo hold.
For sure.
Is there anything else?
That's it for me.
I think I'm good here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. So you guys board back, get back onto the Scander, and before long, Scander is heading out towards the 100 diameter jump limit, and she makes the astrogation checks and jumps, heading for Smoug. First things first, everybody can add another week to their study periods.
Oh,
And the next thing is, and I will allow you guys to decide who is going to do this. You guys need to pair up into two groups. So a group of two and a group of two. Who wants to be grouped with who?
What are we doing this for, by the way?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What are we doing this for?
This is going to be during your watch shifts during this week and jump.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll take group 1.
Okay. Who do you want to be in group 1? You and who else?
I don't know who wants.
who wants to be in group 1?
Audrey will do it.
Okay, so Audrey and Casimir are on duty on the bridge. Basically, this is a pretty much throughout the week. Everybody on the crew has watch shifts, and your 8-hour shift throughout this week, Casimir and Audrey both end up on the bridge. Not a whole lot to do. I mean, there just isn't. The shutters over the ports are closed, so you can't even really look outside. The reason for that being is that there is some belief, whether it's scientifically true or not, there is some belief that those who spend a lot of time looking out the window into jump space can kind of lose it. There has been numerous examples of people looking into jump space and seeing things. Don't know if they're creatures or entities or what, but people have seen things looking out into jump space. Other people sit there and stare into jump space all day long and see absolutely nothing. They see the same inky, purpley blackness that you would normally believe to see, because you're essentially looking out into a hydrogen bubble in an alternate universe. Kind of an alternate universe. It's an alternate plane. And so the standard procedure for most vessels is they shut these shutters over the ports, and so the only thing that you have to basically look at are sensor readings, which are all blank because you get there's no communications, there's nothing to see, and so your time on the bridge is basically monitoring the damage control board, making sure nothing goes wrong, making sure the O2 is at the proper nitrogen oxygen mix, and yeah, it it's a boring 8-hour shift. Orion and Zerzy, you are on security watch. You know,
Ryan, everything's gonna be okay. We have Clanker.
that's true. You would have Clanker. Did I? I don't.
Very good point. Also, I should ask.
Did.
Never been in a fight on a starship. I probably shouldn't use my Gauss SMG on board. Correct?
Probably.
No, that'd be bad.
Yeah, probably not a great idea. Especially since the Gauss has essentially it's got armor piercing, which that's a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, generally firearms are usually not advised. The standard procedure for watch aboard Scander is that you are supplied with a cutlass and a I don't know that they actually list it here. Let me see. Nope,
I mean, energy weapons should also be fine because they don't really have the armor piercing of Gauss or slugs.
true, but there's still so high power that the other problem comes. It's not really so much of a problem of piercing the hull. It then becomes a problem of damaging,
Messing with the electronics.
messing up
Well,
electronics,
yeah, I mean-
things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're still, yeah.
Thankfully, I still got my cutlass and my daggers.
Would there have been any spare swords in the armory?
Yes. So you guys are armed with a Saix, rather than a cutlass. I've never had a reason to to even bring this up, but now's a good time. So these things are basically just large, very straight knives, kind of bordering on that space between dagger and short sword.
Like a gladius.
Lengthwise, yes, but the shape, no. Traditionally, and here's a little history lesson for you. The Saix was really designed for not just combat, for utilitarian use, and the edge of the blade is designed. It is purposely designed to break, and so rather than spending a whole lot of time, maintaining the blade and sharpening it over use, it basically just whittles itself down until you get a new one.
Okay.
But this is a Saix.
Very new.
I thought there were more pistols. Evidently not. So for you guys are all given these Saix for standard duty, and you're given a snub pistol. I don't think I have a picture of the snub pistol, but these are basically designed to be zero gravity. They're a low velocity weapon, and their range is like 5 meters. But they're a typical shipboard security firearm. The other typical shipboard security weapons would be like a snub carbine, which uses the same ammunition as the pistol, or even a shotgun, loaded with buckshot, because it's not going to pierce the hull, and really, individually the shot doesn't do as much damage as, say, like the Stoolie, even with standard rounds. That thing's a hand cannon. So you guys are basically armed with this, and you're kind of maneuvering around the ship. Again, while you're in jump space, there's not really a whole lot to secure. Nobody can get on or off the ship. Anything that leaves the ship vanishes forever. It is essentially gone. It is dead. It is released back into the normal universe as subatomic particles that have decayed past their half-life. There is nothing left of these people if they leave the ship. And so, because nothing can come on or get off, really not a whole lot to do. You're not expecting a whole lot. However, Zerzy and Orion, you can both roll recon checks.
Recon intellect.
Yes, recon plus intellect. And
I gotta roll.
and Clanker can roll 2d plus 2 for recon.
I have his. He's all skilled out. Remember, I got him a character sheet.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Nice.
So Zerzy, you notice that as you guys are kind of walking through the what deck is this? Deck 2. You're walking through the deck 2 cargo hold. Again, not expecting to see a whole lot. You hear like a whisper and something drop and clank on the floor from over in this corner.
ooh.
Ooh.
And I mean, you hear the whisper. It's not really so much a whisper as you hear the echo of a whisper. Because even with this cargo hold being full of stuff, there's still it is an immense space. And so you're going to get a lot of echo, but it sound the dropping of something metallic on the deck made a larger sound than this. You thought maybe you heard a whisper, and then you hear this clank, like something got dropped.
I wish that the crew droid came with a gigantic spotlight, but he doesn't.
No, he does not.
He has
Get him
broad
one.
spectrum sensors and a recon sensor. I don't know if those help him with like thermal vision or anything. I don't know if that's a thing in Traveler.
Let's see. Come on.
As much as I love him,
Chassis
I'm
options.
more than willing to sacrifice him.
Manipulators. God.
Oh no, he has an auditory sensor, broad spectrum, and he has recon. Well, he has all factory sensors improved, PRIS sensors, recon sensors enhanced. I don't know what any of that stuff means.
So
If he doesn't, I have some TL10 electronic binoculars that have light amplification, infrared, thermal, and image processing.
He's fancy.
Fancy.
I'm a scout. I'm a scout.
I just have a laser pistol.
This is essentially like his used army or his used marine gear he brought with him.
Fair.
So the press sensor extends vision into infrared and ultraviolet wavelengths and beyond, and provides passive light amplification, grants IR UV vision trait, and includes the functionality of a Geiger counter. So basically, it can see into all of the radio spectrum for Clanker.
Nice.
The broad spectrum, the audio sensor, broad spectrum, it does give him heightened senses. So he would get a +1 to his recon. Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on if you are. Let's see. Clanker rolled a 7. He definitely would pick up the audio of somebody whispering. There was somebody talking.
I'm just gonna look at Orion's like, it's probably somebody flirting or drinking or something. I doubt anything crazy or bad or spooky is happening.
Hey, it's just the wind.
Yeah, we should probably still check it out, right? We are security. It's
I
been kind of
mean,
boring.
do you really want to shoot up a crew member?
I don't. But if they're gambling, who knows?
I mean, just yell over there.
I'll
So
just call
yeah.
out in the direction that he's gesturing.
Okay,
Hey, you got room for another player?
so you call out trying to get into whatever game you think might be going on. There's no response. Clanker reports that he turns to Zerzy and he says that he can hear heavy breathing and a heightened, elevated heart rate. He believes that it is coming from two distinct individuals.
Not us.
No, he's not reading you guys. Damn it, Clanker, you're scanning us again.
It doesn't sound like they want anybody to play. Maybe they ran off when they heard us coming.
I'm telling you, I think it's two of our crewmates getting it on. It would make sense, sneak around at nighttime, elevated heart rates.
And most of the crew are sharing bunks, so that
Yeah.
can make privacy difficult.
That's a good point. Well, but now I'm curious because they didn't answer, and we know there's someone
they're
there.
trying to be sneaky.
Okay, I'll trust your judgment. Been on
I
this
mean,
ship
worst
far
case,
longer
I
than
can
I
like
have.
I can throw a box at them with my telekinesis or something. No, let's go
could you?
look.
And I'll just kind of like tap the forehead. Could you see what they're doing?
Look, I think I have to actually see them in order to do mind reading.
Yeah,
It's just
they would have. Well, yeah, they would have to. They would have to be in visual sight. Yeah.
wait. Are you sure about that? Because I thought like one of the things you can do is like pick a direction, and then it's harder, but you can still scan into it to like. They describe it as scanning for like life signs aboard a vessel. Is a
Yeah,
power that
there's life detection. So you could do a telepathy life detection, which would tell you if there's anybody else in here. In fact, it'll tell you pretty much where everybody is within distant range, which is like 5 clicks.
I'm just gonna do the dad thing, just walk over to the light switch and turn it on. I'm just gonna channel my dad energy and just be like, let's just get this over with.
Smells like
Everybody
cigarettes and
walk
cat
out
food in here. You kids having sex? Yeah, okay. So you go and you you turn on the main lighting for the cargo hold, and there's this flickering and the hum click 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 boom, 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 as the hold kind of lights up. These two areas, 11s, are closed off. There is an iris valve set into the wall on each side, and those are actually the docking space for the shuttles.
Yeah, when the lights come on, I'll just make my way over and be like, just need to do a security check. If you're just having fun, I'll let you go.
Okay, so are you overtly doing this, or are you trying to stealth over?
I'm not trying to be stealthy.
Okay.
They know I'm coming. I'm not trying to hide it.
Okay. And so you kind of make your way over there. Go ahead and make another. In this case, well, yeah. Go ahead and make a recon plus intellect check. So you get over there. You see these two guys from the crew. Let me. That wasn't exactly what I wanted, but that might work. You have seen these two. You are not. You haven't even been a part of the crew long enough to kind of be versed in everybody's name. You know, one is named Ivar, and the other one is named August. And these two, Ivar kind of sticks out a little bit because he's a pretty big burly guy. Often is seen working as basically a standard deckhand, space hand. He's big, he's loud, and boisterous. August, let's see. August, the only thing that you can remember about him is some boasting talk in one of the, in the main common area that the crew usually gathers to eat and drink on their breaks. He goes on at some. He was going on at some length about how he is certain that he has actual ancestors that date all the way back to Earth. That he knows that they were jarls in like northern Scandinavia, or around those parts. And he seemed that he was very convinced that as soon as he's done with establishing his own reputation by having successfully completed Skandersvik, that he is going to trace his family tree far enough back that he can possibly inherit the riches of his family. He's convinced of this. Most of the rest of the crew are like not so convinced, but they're willing to entertain the thought. And so,
Yeah.
So you've run into these guys before, and I don't think they're that bright.
For them, I'm not that bright either.
No, so they are hiding behind one of these shipping containers. And you kind of come up behind them, and they're kind of looking around the other side, so they're not even aware that you've come up behind them. And to their left, you see that there's another shipping container, a much smaller, like a 1-ton container, and you can see that the front of it has been unlatched and was open, and it looks like that sound that you heard was the latching mechanism wasn't quite secured, and it fell in its bracket and hit the deck.
I haven't been on the ship long enough to have any idea what the inventory is looking like on here. So
It's really no real big secret.
I just kind of lean over closer to him, behind him, just kind of whisper quietly, "What you hiding?"
So in addition to the crew cargo that these guys have purchased prior to you joining, this is mostly what is carried, what or has been and has been. These numbers aren't exactly right because a lot of it has been filtered out and either given away or sold at various ports. But this is around about what the ship is currently carrying.
Gotcha. It could pretty much be anything.
Yeah, like common manufactured goods, I would say that it's probably down to like 150 tons. Common raw materials is probably down to about 100 tons at this point. Common electronics is maybe down to 25 tons. Medical supplies is probably down to about 25 tons. Luxury goods, probably down to... he did give away a lot of that. Probably down to about 25 tons. And then he's down to about 10 tons of the samples that he basically gives out. See, basically, it's not necessarily... Of course, Skander wants to make a profit on this run. But that's not all of the business that he's doing. Some of it he's given away in an attempt to kind of build future business deals the first one's for free, and then we'll charge you for the next one. And so this is kind of part of how he's been doing business. And this is, of course, supposed to be Magnus's last run before, his last big hurrah before he goes into retirement. So, I mean, you can see that they were into one of these smaller 1-ton containers, and they were doing something in there, but they're ducked down and kind of looking around the other side of one of these larger cargo containers, and they have not noticed that you have kind of come up behind them. They think they're still being hidden.
Seeing that they don't really notice me, I'll just kind of look over towards the latch and then look back towards them. Ivar, August, what you hiding over here?
And they both kind of jump. Oh, what? Oh, we weren't doing nothing.
That latch didn't just fall on the ground?
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, Ivar forgot to latch it when we loaded it on, and I just remembered it while we were in the common area, and so we decided to come back here and take care of it.
Good job. Why were you hiding then?
Oh, well, and Ivar speaks up. Well, August gets spooked whenever we go into jump space.
So you hid from crew members calling out wanting to join into a game that clearly heard you.
Oh, Ivar or August thinks that possibly you might have been ghosts.
Ghosts. Yes.
And
yeah, I'm not buying it.
Ivar kind of backhands, or August kind of backhands Ivar in the chest. Says, "Don't make fun of me. You know well as I do that there are strange things that can be seen in jump space."
I'm sure there are, but look, yeah, I'm in a little bit of a position here. I'm new to the crew. I'm supposed to be running security here. I want to build up a good rapport with Magnus. This is a big run for him. If anything were to go wrong with the cargo, it would be a severe problem for him and in turn not look good for me. So just tell me what you got hidden in there. As long as it's not a big deal, it doesn't have to be a big deal.
Go ahead and make a persuasion plus social check.
9.
Okay. So Ivar looks at August and says, I don't think there's any point in hiding it anymore. I think we've been discovered. And August says, I think you're right. And he says, he looks at you and he says, well, maybe we can keep this to ourselves. And he goes over and he lifts up the latch and kind of resecures it and opens the door. And in here, in this 1-ton container, you can see he reaches over and he flicks on a utility light that's inside this this 1-ton cargo container, and you can see that there is just walls. All the walls are racks of weapons. They're not overly impressive weapons, but they are Sword World's weapons. And then there are two other cases in the middle on the floor of this container that have they're separate locked cases, and Ivar goes over and he opens up one of them, and inside you can see that there are a number of grenades and pistols. Now, as far as like the weapons that are in here, They are, like I said, well, they're more impressive than the weaponry that you guys used on Tarkeen. The Jaeger carbine, specifically, is what's hanging on the wall. And it looks a lot better than it really is, because one thing about Sword World's weapons, that Sword Worlders have they have a like for semi-automatic weapons. And it's kind of
I can appreciate that.
It's a pride thing for them. Their belief is that if they're a true warrior, they don't need to spray and pray.
I can definitely respect that. And I just gotta, just under my voice, just let the advanced comm know for Xerxes what's going on.
Okay.
As they open it up, and I see the weapons hanging up here. This is some nice gear you got here.
These are the rifles, or carbines, rather. It's got a folding stock on it. And it's not a bad gun. It's just, it's nothing overly spectacular.
That's a great general purpose rifle.
Yeah. And it's got a scope trait, so it's not bad.
Huge.
Yeah, that means you can shoot at a target over over 100 meters. And then the pistols are, of course, stoolies.
Yeah.
And then there's a number of grenades. Find my grenade chart. So off of this chart, there are each of these cases has 10 aerosol grenades and 10 stun grenades in each of the cases. So there's like 6 pistols and then 10 aerosol, 10 stun grenades, and there's 2 of those cases hanging on the walls. There's probably a good 20 of these Jaeger carbines on either side. Other than that, this 1 ton, there's a lot of empty space. There's this 1 ton cargo container. They could load there. It could have been loaded with a lot more stuff. The other thing that you note is that the labeling on the outside of this cargo container. So there is a code that is put, kind of like a UWP that you would get for like a planet or even a traveler. There's a code for what the container is supposed to be holding. And this container is listed essentially as holding agricultural goods.
So hidden off the cargo manifest as well.
Right. Basically, it reads on the cargo. It would read on the cargo manifest as 1 ton of agricultural goods.
Noticing that and seeing Xerxes and Clanker coming by. Hey, Xerxes. Apparently, we got some nice Sword World weapons here in this agricultural container.
Is there any slots that appear to be missing a weapon?
No, everything. You without having some kind of manifest of what's supposed to be in the container, you wouldn't know for sure. But you don't see that there's any empty racks. Like, they're all full.
I hold up my tablet and just like look at each of them, look at the weapons. Why are you messing with the cargo of the ship?
So August says, "Oh, no, we're not messing with the cargo." And Ivar says, "Well, we picked this up at port on Grote." and we were planning to move it for a contact that we made on Grode. We were going to move it to a position on Smoug, and then we were supposed to be paid by the contact there.
Does Magnus know?
No, Magnus is generally against this kind of thing. You know how he is. He doesn't like to move in weapons. And not only that, but and Ivar says, well, not only that, but, and August kind of says, shut up.
Speak, or else I'll have to destroy your minds. I really don't feel like doing it.
I kind of take a step back and kind of pull my cloak around. Splash zone.
So, Cersei, you can make a deception plus social check, and you can make it with a boon. You can take 2 highest.
I gotta roll another d6. Oh my god, that was so
Ooh.
horrible. Only a 6.
So August is like, you can't do that, and Ivar goes, I don't trust it. I don't trust it, August. I think maybe he can. You know, he's not, he's what do they call them? Proles? He's not one of them. He's one of the higher ups. And he says, and August says, all right. He says, so it's technically Smaug is within Third Imperium borders, and so it is technically illegal for us to be selling Sword World's arms to a Imperial world. He's like, so I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, they're not, it's not like we're selling weapons of mass destruction or anything. I don't know what the contact needs them for. We're just interested in making some extra money.
Well, I'm not trying to threaten you, but I will tell you, yes, I am a Jordani, and no, I'm not a prole. I am of nobility, which means when things need me to make a decision, by my right as a Jordani, I can make any kind of ruling I wish, and that is the law. Now,
well, I mean, maybe we could cut you in on this deal.
how about you just go back to your quarters?
And so August says, so I mean, if we go back to our quarters, we can keep this private between us, right?
Go back to your quarters.
So they both kind of, hang their heads dejectedly and head back through this door back up towards crew quarters.
Unacceptable, Orion. Unacceptable.
What? What did I do wrong?
Not you, them.
Oh, okay. That's what I said. I didn't want my head to explode.
I tried to buy weapons once, and I got talked down to by Magnus. Granted, mine were nuclear weapons, but still.
You were trying to buy nukes. That's generally frowned upon.
I mean, I would imagine any captain would be concerned with nukes being brought aboard.
Listen, I had a really good deal for them. They were surplus. But
surplus nuclear weapons. That is good to know.
But no, I have a long-standing rapport with Colonel Voss, the intelligence officer, and I've known Magnus for too long. I have to report this.
Well, you're definitely the senior of the two of us, so I'll follow your lead. I'll back you up.
So, I mean, you could report this without actually mentioning any names. You could say that in your inspection of the cargo bay, you found, that this container didn't contain what it was supposed to. Then, of course, that opens up the question of what made you look. But
I haven't decided yet. I made sure to capture the evidence of both of them and the open cargo container with weapons on my tablet, like I said. So I'll wait on it until the morning.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and close it back up and seal it back properly.
Okay. So you guys close it back up. Meanwhile, back on the bridge, up here on deck 3. Casimir and Audrey, the Iris. Well, the first thing that happens is that there is a computer voice that kind of sounds throughout the ship over the ship's intercom, estimating that there is roughly 10 minutes to jump emergence. So this is at the end of the week, and so Casimir and Audrey, you're on the bridge, and you get the chime that jump emergence is forthcoming. Estimated time 10 minutes, and after about 5 minutes after this alert goes out, the iris valve opens, and of course the on duty pilot kind of filters in, and a communications and sensors officer kind of make their way in and take their seats, prepping for when the ship comes out of jump. And pretty normal jump. In fact, you guys are the astrogation and the jump going into jump was so good that you guys are probably about estimating about 2 hours earlier at an emergence than usual. And I forget what the number is, but it's like I want to say it's like 116 hours squared or something like that. Anyways, so you guys are a little bit early and and actually pretty on target. Right, there it is. And so this is the Smoug system. It is a binary. Not a whole lot going on at the companion other than the fact that there is a large gas giant. There is a small ice world that has a colony on it. But most of these ships don't bother going out to the secondary star. And so in this system, immediately the first thing that pops up is this ship, the Katzven, or the Kalsven. It is a Sword World's destroyer, and as soon as you emerge from jump and your systems are completely online, Skander is hailed by the Kalsven. It is a Sword World strike destroyer. I will either Casimir or Audrey, you can answer the phone.
Yeah, I push the little button and say, "This is the Skander."
And
Hi, it's the Skander.
I just got this image of Audrey the Varger over your shoulder, like, hi!
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, you get a message back from the Kalsven, basically greeting you, welcome to Smoug, and we hope that your merchant cruise has gone on well. Would like to pass on a little bit of information to you that it says. That the Kalsven reports no unusual conditions, but they pass along an advisory that they've picked up from. They just came from Warden, and they do pass along a advisory that the that the Imperial authorities have put out in Warden about the increased possibility of piracy. And of course, this was accompanied by the usual assurances from the Imperial Navy that they are going to be dealing with the matter and that there probably is no need for concern, but to be on the lookout and to be forewarned that this is a possibility. And it's evidently happening well, let me show you the map. It is happening all along the border here from Warden down through to Smoug and possibly into the Sword Worlds Confederation along the metal worlds. Steel, mithril, bronze, and iron. The Calsven reports that they haven't run into any pirates, and they immediately follow that up. Reading your transponder, it lists that Smoug is your current destination, that your next destination from Smoug would be Warden, and they apologize that they wouldn't be able to give you an escort as they are currently underway for District 268, and but they offer you well wishes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You say that, and I respond with a formal received and acknowledged closing communication line.
Okay, and so you guys came out probably you came out a jump at about 96 diameters from Smoug. So this is right in that zone, that 100 diameter limit, where ships are coming in or out of jump. And so with that, the Calsven, basically gives you some farewell signaling lights and jumps out of system. Which, Casimir was talking on the radio, so Audrey, you can make a Recon plus Intellect check.
Recon plus Intellect. Audrey is too distracted.
Wow, evidently not. So,
well, hold on. I assume I have access to the ship's computer since I'm on duty. Was the Calsven mentioned as one of those ships that popped in and out of the word cloud without really saying anything?
No.
Okay.
You completely unexpected that the Calsven was here, but it is registered as a Sword Worlds naval ship. This is a Confederation ship. It's not unusual for Sword World ships to kind of cross the border and make their way through some of those edge worlds along the border between the Sword Worlds Confederation and the Third Imperium. The Imperial ships do the same thing. They might jump over every so often into like Mithril or even Biter and kind of make their way through. They're not exactly, usually they're not given like, a very warm welcome. They're basically told to, go refuel at the nearest gas giant and fuck off is the usual response from Sword World's port authorities. But it's not unusual for either nation's navies to cross over that border. Just like it's not unusual that Skander, being a merchant cruiser, is kind of making its way along the edge. So, yeah, I mean, you check, you don't see any reports of the Calsven in any of the information that Xerxes found. But you do come in, or you are over Smoug, and suddenly the comm system lights up again, and there is a broad beam broadcast being sent in that announce. Let's see, what is it? So it is a tight beam communication that is being sent directly to Scander, and it is encoded for specific that some specific recipients aboard would have the decoding key. You can, of course, attempt to decode it if you would like.
Well, I believe that would be probably electronics or something, which I don't.
Yeah, that
no,
would be
you-
electronics, comms, intellect, or education.
Well, I mean, I do have Oh, you also have electronics?
Audrey can roll electronics.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, go for
Make
it.
it a electronics comm. There you go. Okay.
Nice.
So this isn't like a very heavily encoded broadcast, but essentially, when you decode this, it says that all it says, the message says, is that Tamara's Traveling Tavern and Cosmic Cabaret is present and performing, and on your scopes, you see that there is a ship that has recently emerged from Jump. Out here near the large gas giant, and its transponder is only broadcasting as T3.
Interesting.
It is registering as, find the stats in this thing. It is registering as an 800-ton mercenary cruiser. I don't know what you guys want to do with this information. Did you want to report this?
Yeah, I mean, we should. We should. This sounds important. I suppose. Yeah. I suppose we'll need to be on the lookout for somebody asking to go to the tavern, or whatever the hell it was called, the long and complicated name.
Yes.
Yeah, the Cosmic Cabaret,
That one, yeah. So
the
should
traveling
keep an eye-
circus show.
we should keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I mean, let's go report this. We have to hand over our watch, and we'll go and report to Magnus.
Okay. So yeah, you Magnus is in his office just off the bridge. You kind of knock and give your report, and Magnus kind of he looks like he probably didn't sleep very well. His beard's kind of a mess. He's got a huge sealed mug, a travel mug type of coffee that he's sipping on, and he says, "Oh, well, let's go take a look." And he steps out onto the bridge, and he tells the operator, or the sensor operator, he says, "Bring up this information on this T3." And so the sensor operator brings up the T3. Here it is. And this shows up on your scanners.
Oh, traveling tavern.
And so Magnus then kind of goes over to the computer and looks some information up, and brings up information. Evidently, this ship, it is a standard. Well, not standard. It was a. Yeah, Magnus has the best merchant ship operator. um, um, it was. Let me find it. There it is. So this was a Type C mercenary cruiser, which it generally is fairly scary. It is Tamara's Tavern is listed as being wanted. It is
Uh-oh.
it is stolen merchandise. Essentially, the data logs that come up on this thing is that it was. Let's see, what is the story here? It says. Wanted by both the Zand Corporation and the Third Imperium. Local Imperial Marines were dispatched to deal with a problem under command of a now missing Ambassador Karen Ming. As the Marines engaged with the miners, Tamara and her crew boarded the mercenary cruiser and took control of the skeleton crew. The ship jumped away, never to be seen again within civilized society. There is currently a large bounty on one Tamara that says it is presently worth 40,000 credits, and it lists Tamara. It also lists a second individual that is known to be a part of Tamara's crew, one simply known as Sarge. And it has him listed as armed and dangerous. Do not approach. And so Magnus kind of looks at this information and says, "Oh, I don't like the sounds of this." So essentially, he kind of tells the sense ops to keep their eye on this on T3. He doesn't suspect that they're going to leave the orbit of that gas giant. What he suspects is that they'll be here for a day or two before they jump to areas unknown, and he doesn't suspect that they're going to hang around because that they're in an imperial system, even one out on the fringe of the frontier. It wouldn't be wise for them to stick around. Sooner or later, another imperial ship is going to come through, and that they're probably going to want to avoid a conflict. And so he doubts that they'll stick around for very long. So Zerzi and Orion, are you going? You were going to report this cargo.
Oh yeah, I would head towards Colonel Voss's room, send him a message in Mobilecom saying that I'm coming. I gotta talk to you urgently.
Okay, so he, Kurt Voss, it's during his off shift, so he was sleeping. Now he's awake, and so he just opens up his door and lets you into his quarters. He says, "Yeah, what's so important?"
Weapons smuggling.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I show him the photos of the two crew members and the weapons and say, I didn't tell him I was going to help him. I didn't tell him I was going to turn him in, but I'm just giving you this information. They said that they have an unknown contact at Smoug to deliver these two. I leave it up to you to decide what happens to them.
He says, that that could be interesting. He says, have you reported this to Magnus?
Not yet.
He says, I mean, it might be beneficial to find out who they were going to sell these weapons to. He said that
Yeah, but
that could also kind of tie in with Magnus's desire to know more about whatever it is that Magnus is looking for. Obviously, he goes and he kind of looks at the images of the shipping container and whatnot. He says, I mean, it's not like they're selling a lot. He goes, according to what you have here, it doesn't look like there's they could be arming a small security detail. Who knows? Because so it's not.
Magnus doesn't like us selling weapons, so I figured you're the Sword World intelligence officer, so
He says it would. He goes. It would be probably fairly helpful if we knew who they were selling them to and why, or at least get some kind of feeling as to what's going on here. That would, and then then report it to Magnus, because then you get all the laurels because you brought him intelligence.
well, I still send him the picture to us. I guess I'll convince them that I'll go along with it for a cut, and I'll deliver that information to Magnus afterwards.
So you're contacting Ivar and August and
Yeah, so my plan is to I give Kurt the images so that way in case he needs them. And I tell him that I'm gonna go tell those two that I'll help them for a cut since we caught them.
okay.
But
So-
we'll help them sell the weapons.
So August is kind of the smarter one of the two, and so he answers, and you tell him this. He says, "Oh, that's good because we received a communique from the contact. We thought that we were going to make contact with them on the surface on Smoug, but evidently the information that we got is coming from a ship that's in orbit around the gas giant."
So the TT.
Oh, it's T3. They're selling the guns to pirates.
Yeah,
it-
makes sense.
And go ahead and make a Zerzy, make a persuasion plus social check.
A 9.
Excellent. So you kind of get a little bit more information from Ivar, and he tells you, he says, evidently from the way that he describes this payment system or payment plan, as far as him and August getting their reward for delivering this, there was no actual stipulation that they would be receiving money. They might be receiving their reward in another product worth an equal amount of money.
I'll just tell them that me and Orion are going to get 5% of whatever your payment is.
He says, okay, well, he says, Ivar says, well, to be honest, this seems a little bit more complicated than what we originally agreed to go. We just thought we were going to go to the downport and sell this stuff. He says, now there's this ship that's in orbit and it's kind of scary. August and I would really appreciate it if you came along with us to make the deal.
No, of course, I'm going to protect my investment. But I'm going to bring my friends with me.
Okay, yeah, that's completely acceptable. And he tells you that let's see. He tells you that that according to when Audrey decoded the broadcast, all that Audrey got out of the decoding was that it said Tamara's Traveling Tavern and Cosmic Cabaret is now present and performing. That's the only part of it that she was able to decode. But the rest of it, there was more to that. And essentially what it was is essentially stating that we're in system. and that they will be sending a launch to the high port to pick up anybody and any cargo that plans to board T3. And so there's no need. Ivar tells you that evidently we don't need a shuttle or anything like that. They're going to send a ride for us, and according to what this message states, that's the only way you're getting aboard. They will not allow any other ship to dock, and it even states, warning, do not attempt to approach in your own craft. You will be shot down.
They're trying to make sure they have control of the situation before we even begin.
Yeah.
And they didn't promise any specific payment.
No.
So, knowing that we're dealing with pirates, payment could be in the form of the laser rifle to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Certainly would be cheap.
I mean, you and Casimir are dying to probably shoot something anyway, so...
Yeah.
I do have my SMG. She does like to bark.
So, I mean, anybody that would like to, you could make an electronics computers, either electronics, yeah, it would be electronics computers plus intellect or education to try to find out a little bit more about this ship, about T3.
Okay, I'll do just that.
I suppose I can do that.
And you'd get your bonus for the database software and your agent.
The 3 or the 6?
Uh,
What's the tech level of the tavern?
The tech
Tech
level,
12, so never mind, just the 3.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh,
Okay, so from all the reports, there's scant amounts of information about this. Most of the reports that you're seeing are that it's wanted and that there's this huge bounty available for finding and bringing Tamara to justice, and any information leading to the capture of T3 can lead to a very large reward from either the Zand Corporation or the Third Imperium. But other information that you're able to gather is that whatever it's a very strange situation. Like, from the bits and pieces of information that you're gathering, it doesn't seem like Tamara or her crew are necessarily pirates. They are using T3 as like a mobile space station that conducts deals for underworld types, whether it be gun running, drug smuggling, pirate activity, assassins for hire. Basically, they all congregate in whatever system that this ship arrives in. Any that are in that system will receive this underground tight beam broadcast that's encoded, and they have a decoding key, and then they go to the ship to do whatever kind of wheeling and dealing that these types would do.
I see. I want to. Whatever Ryan would want to do. I just would quickly want to let Kurt kind of know to kind of have the scanner get ready to watch our back in case shit hits the fan. I would definitely let everybody else know what's going on, that we're going to go with some cargo onto the pirate ship and see what happens.
The other part of this about from the message about boarding and being taken over, you can wear any armor that you'd like, but bladed weapons are acceptable, and you're allowed to bring any kind of body pistols, but no other weaponry is allowed aboard.
All right,
No
I'll pass that news on to
SMGs.
everybody also.
So I know Zerzy has a body pistol.
I've got a couple.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I
don't
do
you?
not
Yeah,
have a body pistol.
I think I know Zerzy has one of these.
I've got one of those. I have my laser pistol, if that counts. I
No,
have.
the laser pistol certainly does not count. So yeah, I mean blades and any bladed weapon and of course body pistols are allowed. Beyond that, no weapons, and it basically states that you're expected to be on your best behavior while aboard the Cabaret.
Seems acceptable. Yeah, I will.
Alright.
I'll keep the sword on Clanker, but I'll keep his pistols on the Scander.
Okay, so
And I'll take my dagger and my cutlass and an auto pistol is a body pistol, right?
no.
Oh, it's one of those specific
It has
Yeah,
to be
body
that one
body
exactly.
pistol is basically
Okay.
any
the
small
undetectable ones.
well, theoretically undetectable.
Hard to detect.
They're derringers, yeah,
Ah, okay. In that case, I
or
will go with my
pocket
cutlass
guns
and
or
dagger.
purse pistols. Okay, so what are you guys? So I will start with Orion. What are you wearing for armor type?
I'm gonna stick with my hunter field garb.
Okay,
It'll be useful in a lot of situations, hopefully.
and you said you were packing a dagger.
Dagger and a cutlass. A dagger
Okay.
kind of at the small of my back under the cloak, and then the cutlass more openly visible.
Okay, what's
And I will have my shades, the P HUD linked up with the comms and the com dot,
okay?
and all that good stuff.
Excellent. What about Zerzy?
I'll have my social outfit with my body pistol, my fancy clothing, of course. I'll bring the purification globe also to potentially sell or trade away.
Okay.
And my computer with and Clanker will have his sword.
Okay. Is that a cutlass that Clanker's using, or
Well, I just used the one sword that you posted, the
the
Seeks
six? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that works perfectly. What about Audrey?
Audrey wears jack armor and carries no weapon.
Okay, and Casimir.
What was that about the no restriction on armor?
You can wear any armor that you want, but the only weapons that are allowed are bladed weapons or body pistols.
Okay, well, in that case, hold on. I actually have my setup, except the one thing I'm not going to take is I'm not going to take my. Is instead of taking the cartridge laser rifle, I will instead take my stunner. But essentially, I'm going to wear my boarding vac suit.
Okay.
So yeah, swap with the laser rifle for the stunner, and then yeah, static blade. I'll keep the expandable shield. Why shouldn't I?
Sure.
And yeah.
Okay. So, Skander kind of comes in while you guys are kind of, figuring all of this out with Ivar and Augustus, or August. Skander makes port at the high port of Smoug, and the high port of Smoug is really rather disappointing. So essentially, it is a floating warehouse for goods as well as a fuel port, and they have shuttles that make their way either to the ice world or all the way over to the gas giant and basically bring back fuel, and that's how ships refuel. They have shuttle services to ferry cargo and passengers down to the downport, where all the actual business of trade is done. Skander, however, can actually make the landing. So as soon as Skander is done refueling, she will of course make her way down to the downport, and then beyond that they will go ahead and move on. Magnus tells everybody, and he of course gives you guys some, do whatever you want to do while we're in port. If you can make trade deals, do it. Look for intelligence, all the standard stuff that you would do in port. But he does tell you that he's only planning on being here, and he plans to lift off from Smoug and head for the 100 diameter jump limit within 72 hours. So you only have 3 days here, and you better be back aboard because he's leaving. There is a minor amount of business that can be conducted at the downport, and he's hoping to make a little bit of money. So you've basically got 72 hours here of what what you can do. And so the hold on here. The launch arrives, and Ivar and August receive a message on their mobile comms that the T3 launch is waiting to pick them up at docking bay 41, and so you make your way over there, and there are these how many of them are there? There's a 5-member crew of this ship, of this launch. It's just a little 20, or actually no, it's not a launch, it's a pinnace, right? It says even better than a pinnace, it's a modular cutter. So it's a 50-ton modular cutter, and there is a crew of 5, and all of these guys are wearing black vac suits with red piping. There we go. So this is what the crew looks
Of course,
like.
they look cool.
Bunch of edgelords.
And yes, we're cool and gothic. So there's 5 of these guys, and they all pretty much are wearing these black vac suits. They're not wearing helmets. The 5th guy, 4 of them are not wearing helmets. The 5th guy is much larger, and he's wearing a boarding vac suit, and with the full helmet. And the first thought that you think of when you see this guy is you're like, how can he see anything? Because the visor is completely tinted. I mean, like dark. And when he speaks, he's talking through a voice modulator, so he kind of sounds like Darth Vader. And he's basically barking orders at the other 4 crewmates the entire time. Oh yeah, get these people aboard to secure their cargo. And so these guys, 2 of them come over and kind of lift the cargo and put it into the modular cutter, and 2 of the other ones kind of come over and they go over you guys with a hand scanner. Oof. They don't detect your body pistols. They of course suspect that that each of you is probably carrying one, because that would be normal. But they don't detect them, and but they don't detect any other weapons, and so they wave you aboard. And once you're aboard, they secure the cargo and shove off almost immediately, making for T3. That probably takes actually from here to there, maybe the better part of 8 hours. And they make dock aboard T3. Let me double check something. Yep, this is okay. And I apologize that these deck plans are so huge that I didn't really customize them in any way. So this thing's a big ball, and at the top on deck 1, as you're coming in, you can see that the ship's original imperial insignia of the Starburst is still left on the very top of this large globe-style ship. But somebody has gone outside and put a big red circle around it and a big red slash through it. And on the side, you can see that there's a number of holographic, basically advertisements that make this thing look like it's a party barge. Like this is a tavern and cabaret in space. And of course, on top of that, you also see that it is bristling with triple turret pulse lasers, just all over the place. The mercenary cruisers are designed to basically come into a system, dump a bunch of troops with modular cutters, and basically pacify the planet from orbit. So this thing is they're actually kind of scary. The top deck. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if this would be something like what Orion would have been dropped out of a drop pod on.
I mean,
or something equivalent.
It's not dissimilar. Usually, the Type C is used by mercenaries, but I mean, the Imperium uses them occasionally as well. Probably for Orion, I'd have to go through my ship's book. There is in the source book folder.
Oh yeah, I've got my book in my lap here.
In the Fifth Frontier War, war fleets of the Fifth Frontier War probably would have a ship closer to what Orion would have been used to as being dumped out of on whatever kind of world. I mean, it really depended on where you were at. I mean, if you were out on the frontier, it could have been a Cannoneer classed frontier cruiser. But yeah, I mean, this isn't dissimilar. And so on the top deck, the ship comes in, and the crew kind of comes out. They unload your package and just kind of leave it on the deck up here, and they kind of push you all over to this lift, and they all pile into the lift with you. And this lift just starts to drop down through, from deck 1 down through deck 2, and then here we go. And then finally, on deck 4, you arrive, and the doors open up, and the cutter crew kind of meanders out around through this what looks to be like a large tavern. They have completely redone the deck 4. And there are a number of tables. There are a number of people, different races. One of them's a Hiver, for example. There's a couple of Vargur that look rather rough. There's a couple of Aslan that are here. There are many humans, of course. And they're all kind of sitting around, and there are waitresses and whatnot moving around serving drinks. In the middle is a large stage. What is 2? On here, and I will tell you. Because now I don't remember. That's too far. Is it going to tell me? Oh, I see. So the way so you've got your ball, right? And then the number 2 on this, the reason why it's got a dotted line around it is that the modular cutters are docked lengthways in those 2 tubes. So they take up multiple
runs
decks.
The length.
Yeah, it runs the length of the globe. But the center here at Dead Center is a large stage. And right now, you can see that there's a number of lights and holographic projectors that are kind of aimed up towards the center of the stage, kind of in a cone. And right now, it's dark. And the cutter crew, as they come out, they're like, feel free to sit anywhere. And they kind of start to meander around.
Where's our cargo at? Is this like right next to us, or?
No, it's still up on deck one.
Back on the cargo bay.
Yeah, it's still up on deck one. So where would you like
Ivar, August, what do you know about your contact you're supposed to meet here?
to sit? And Ivar, for once being the big loud guy, he just shrugs. He's speechless. August says, "Well, we weren't really given much of that information. I assumed that they would come to speak with us. I thought that we would be told more, but your guess is as good as mine."
Let's just all
Oh.
keep a level head.
Let's sit down and make ourselves conspicuously noticeable.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds good to me.
so you
I
guys,
just request a spot with my back to the wall. That's all.
okay, we can arrange that. Like, I mean, it's a circle, so
Yeah.
Sit in the corner.
yeah, it's a circle, so find a table in the corner. So you guys kind of all sit down at this table, and they, a waitress comes around, and she looks like she's dressed very similar to like Moxie from Borderlands, wearing very little, and kind of white face, almost not like clown makeup, but very similar, and wearing a little velvet style top hat, comes around serving drinks, and they have this, she brings up a hologram in the middle of the table, a long list of pretty much any possible drink that you could possibly want from all over the place. All of them are alcoholic beverages. And she says, feel free to order whatever you like.
Do
Essentially,
you have any Jodani spirits?
oh yes, we have several. And she brings up a list of Jodani wines and a mezcal and tequilas.
Okay, I'll just grab an
One made
expensive
out
one.
of fermented yogurt. So yeah, you pick one. Essentially, it costs you guys 10 credits each for ordering a drink. As you
Yeah, I
guys
think
are
Arai just kind of flips through and just kind of picks something that just sounds interesting that he's never heard of before.
okay, so she comes back, and as she's setting the drinks down, this drink that you ordered, she sets down, and it has a name, and it escapes me. It started with an N, and I don't remember what it was called, but it is basically, it looks like somebody dropped dry ice into it. There's smoke coming out of it. And so she serves as she's setting your drinks down, the lights in the tavern start to dim, and the lighting on the stage comes up, and you see that a Vargur steps up onto the stage, and starts to he's wearing a top hat. He's got basically dressed like a circus performer, and he is kind of beginning the show for what? Oh, I know what it's called. It's called Adwouge. It is a it comes in a crystal glass that is kind of steaming, and it smells of licorice, cinnamon, and burnt wood.
Oh.
And this Vargur steps up on the stage and says, "Welcome, friends of tax-free commerce, contraband, and conniviality, to the cosmic cabaret. I am Gazid Luge, your master of ceremonies. Let us start with a little song from my pack on Thieve when I was but a young one." And he starts singing, and you see that a bunch of acrobats come out onto the stage and start performing behind him, and kind of in the shadows of of the tavern, and they're all dressed in red and black costumes as well, while they're performing a series of theatrical tableaus as this Vargur is singing. He's singing with quite the amazing, though howling voice. I mean, for a Vargur, it would be an amazing song. For the rest of you, it sounds like a husky that has had his tail stepped on, but it's all in tune. And he's going on, and in between the verses, you can hear him start sprouting phrases, and he says, "We jump between worlds and fit between the laws of this imperious imperium. Freedom from borders and banks, taxes and tolls. Find love and life in the moment, not married to a merchant morality. We extend our lives with the absolute best anagathics so as to become living legends." And finally, the show kind of closes, and everybody starts clapping, and hooting and hollering, and it seems like the show has really just begun. And he says, please be sure to tip your waiters and waitresses. I will be back momentarily. Please enjoy the acrobats. And he steps off of stage. Meanwhile, everybody can roll a recon plus intellect check.
How distracted I was.
Orion and let's see, Orion, Casimir, and Xerxes got it.
I got a 7. Clanker got a 11.
Clanker. Yeah, I forgot about Clanker. Clanker noticed it, and so Clanker kind of reaches out or turns to Xerxes and says, "Sir, I believe that the owner of this ship may be heading in this direction." And you can see, indeed, from the dossiers of Tamara and Sarge, you can indeed see that she has entered the tavern. And she is wearing, how do they describe her? She is wearing a fairly loose-fitting, like white with intricate gold inlay top with a gold with a ruby in it, kind of choker collar, and wearing like they're painted on black leather pants with a red piping that goes down each side, and she's wearing knee-high grav boots. And she has a cutlass in a sheath and a dagger on her belt. And you can see that on her right hip is a holster with a stunner in it. Clanker, well, actually, Orion, you notice the stunner seems that it has been modified in some way. The guy next to her is wearing a boarding vac suit, no helmet. Oh, I'm sorry. He's wearing a hostile environment vac suit, no helmet, and his left eye has been replaced. It is clearly augmented, but it seems like there was absolutely no attempt made to make it look natural. I mean, it looks mechanical, and he's just kind of walking a few paces behind her like a bodyguard. On his hip, he has a laser pistol on his right hip. He has a stunner in a kind of a shoulder rig, and then you can see that there are two stun grenades hanging from his belt, and they're just kind of making their way through the crowd. She doesn't, for as scary as as Sarge looks, Tamara doesn't seem entirely unapproachable. She is making her way to each of the tables and greeting each of the guests, some of them warmly, some she might just, say hello and pat on the shoulder before she moves on, but she doesn't seem unfriendly. And I think that's
I will be on my best behavior.
and I think that's where we will break for tonight. I forgot to bring the Master of Ceremonies out of the dark. We'll break here tonight, and we'll pick up with you guys mingling with the cutthroats of the Smoug system aboard T3 next week at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you very much for running.
Thank you.
Yeah, for next week.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.
Hope you feel
Reading up
better.
on notes here.
Yeah, I'm taking meds and
yeah.
stuff.
Strep throat. I mean, the only thing worse than a strep throat is like a really bad ear infection.
For me, the worst symptom when it comes to like colds and sicknesses is a sore throat for me.
Yep.
Because it's just there's nothing you can do about it. You can temporarily pause it with like soups or ice cream, but
Whiskey.
Warm saltwater gargles. Hot toddies.
Yeah, hot toddies. There you go.
Yep.